how they always say that emotion sells? Well, it does to some extent, but so does logic. And in today's review, I'm gonna show you an example of how you can tap into logical decision makers and the logical reasons why something makes sense to get people to pay attention to what you have to say. Let's get started. One of my favorite ways to get people to pay attention to an email and justify why they should be paying attention to an email is by tapping into the logical part of their brain. So it's not only about tapping into the emotional drives and benefits of transforming their life or avoiding the fear, it's also about the reasons why something makes sense. Now, today I'm gonna walk you through one example of an email that taps into this decision-making process by looking at logical reasons something makes sense. So this is an email from Amy Porterfield, and it starts with a pretty good subject line. 61% of users have purchased from blank. Now, this is great for a couple of reasons. First of all, we have curiosity, right? We have that blank, what's that? Sounds intriguing. The other element to this is the 61%. So numbers do really well in subject lines. They do draw attention, and it creates the idea that what we're saying is actually true. And this also taps into the idea of the logical decision-making process. Now, we have a strong verb here, which is purchased. And for her audience, we're talking business owners. Purchase is a very important word. It's something that they want, purchases. So they're going to pay attention. Now, let's go step by step and let's see what this is all about. So the email starts like this. I was talking to Hobie about doing a little redecorating in my office, and can you guess my first stop? Yep, Pinterest. Now, this is true to Amy's style. She has a lot of first person content, and honestly, she's a big personal brand, and her audience, they want to know things like this, like the behind the scenes. So this is a really good way of creating context for what's about to come. It's also a really good way of helping the audience understand the logical reason why. What's the context? Why are you talking to me about Pinterest? This is the hook that's bringing in Pinterest and all the other things that are gonna follow. So let's see. It truly is the best place for inspiration for just about anything, which is why I wasn't surprised to find out that 61% of projects start on Pinterest. I'm 100% guilty of this. But new projects can mean a lot of different things, Monica. And this is where she is tweaking the conversation to go back into the logical decision-making process. And it explains that Pinterest isn't just about, home decor and crafts. Pinterest could also mean content like a new hobby, a new business, a new product, a new strategy, and a new idea. And your content may be the exact solution someone on Pinterest is looking for. So, funny thing, for 2 or 3 years, I was a Pinterest growth consultant. And yes, this is true. A lot of people go to Pinterest for more than just garden hacks and smoothie recipes or whatever. They actually go and look for products to buy and even services, which I think is very interesting. And maybe 5 years ago, Pinterest were still an overlooked channel for a lot of businesses. So let's go back into the email. Now, again, it taps into the logical reasons why her audience should be paying attention to this. And again, we're talking about business owners. So get this, 61% of weekly pinners have made the purchase from a pin. Pinterest is not just raised garden hacks, my friend. People, and the majority of that are purchasing. Now, at this point, I would have added more information, something along the average order value, how many purchases are made on average, maybe on a month, what are maybe some of the best industries, but just 3 bullet points, nothing complicated. that would have brought it back home even with a more powerful kick, and it would have tapped into this like, why should I pay attention to this? Why does this make sense? Because if we're talking about audiences like business owners, they don't really have time, and they have to be very careful about where they're investing their time and attention. And when it comes to a webinar, even if we're talking about a free webinar, sometimes it's more difficult to get people to sign up and show up to the webinar than it is to actually sell them something. Let's go back here. Okay, so now we're going into the offer, and the offer says, if you haven't saved your seat for my friend Jenna Kutcher's free masterclass, 20x your traffic in 1 hour a week with Pinterest without spending a dime on ads, then now's the time. Now, this is the first email I've seen about this. I feel like I would have added another piece of copy that would have kind of filled in the gap between, okay, you're throwing all this information at me, what do I do with it? And then we just tell them, well, if you want to know how you can tap into this, amazing potential of new users for your brand, make sure you save your seat for my friend blah blah blah. She's hosting 4 live trainings next week on March 5th and 6th, and all you have to do is find the time that works best for you and then prepare to breathe new life into old content and enjoy long-term profit for new eager traffic. Now, I would have added again here the idea that this is about Pinterest, and I would have added some more social proof, some more data, maybe a study that says something like, only a quarter of US brands are actually using Pinterest, which means this is your opportunity to tap into a whole new market for you and your audience. Stay ahead of your competition, learn how. And by the way, you don't even have to create new content. All you have to do is just breathe new life into old content and enjoy long-term profit from new eager traffic. And Jenna's gonna show you how. Click here to save your seat while there's still time. And there's no PS. I should record another video about using PSs in emails, but you get the idea. So this is one example of tapping into that logical decision-making part of a user's brain. So it's not all about emotions. Now, here's the thing. In an email promotion, on your website, even in a webinar, you can't really focus only on emotions or only on the rational, the logical elements of why something makes sense. Both of these have to be combined. Now, in the way I run email promotions, I have a couple of promo emails, and I can have the comfort, the luxury of time of creating specific emails that appeal to different decision-making processes. If you want to learn more about that, I'm gonna list some podcast episodes where I talk about these things in detail. Hi, my name is Monica. I'm an email marketing copywriter, helping course creators, coaches, and consultants figure out how to use email marketing in a non-spammy, non-aggressive way. And email review is one of the ways I'm trying to introduce this customer-centric approach to everyone who is willing to figure out sales without the sleazy part of it. So welcome to the show. Leave me a comment, hit subscribe, share this episode to help spread the word that email marketing can be crazy effective, but at the same time, it can feel good to you as a brand and to the person who's reading about your offers.